I hear a bit of vocal distortion there.
Where I feel okay and I feel no pain and all my resentment got nothing to say.
So I feel okay, na 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 na, breathy voice there. Some vocal runs there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back in the studio with a good cup of coffee for one more vocal analysis. And today we're going to listen to EJAE in Another World. This is a song that has been recommended to me in one of the videos that I did on Golden. And I love Golden, so I'm excited to hear this one. EJAE is one of the singers, I believe one of the writers of Golden, and is one of the singers that perform Golden. For those who are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm a singer, songwriter, and voice teacher. I just released a month ago a new original of mine. It's called I'll Be There. If you are curious to listen to my music, I'll leave the link here. And I also invite you to check out my online singing course, Building Your Voice. There we talk about a range of different techniques, including powerful techniques whenever you want to belt out those high notes, but also soft techniques whenever you want to be more expressive with your singing, vocal distortions, yeah! If you want to learn to practice and apply vocal distortions in your singing without damaging your voice. Alright, we cover all of that and much more inside Building Your Voice. Check out link in the description below. That said, let's listen to In Another World.
I was thinking about space and not the one between us, where we can take 1,000 worries and leave them there.
Okay, the two main things that are happening here are the creaky voice, which is a kind of vocal distortion. This distortion here, and yeah, this is a vocal distortion. Every now and then we use that when we are speaking, you are talking to someone, and then we have this mild crackling here. That's the creaky voice. It is a glottic distortion. That means that it happens at the level of the vocal folds. Do not confuse that with the fry sound. The fry sound doesn't have a pitch. Whenever we start relaxing more the body of the vocal folds, because for the fry sound we only have the arytenoid cartilages, which are the cartilages that hold the vocal folds together. We only have them rubbing against each other to produce this sound. For the creaky, we start relaxing the body of the vocal folds, allowing the vibration of the vocal folds to produce a pitch. So when I sing or that's a creaky voice. If it has a pitch, it is a creaky voice. It's a bit softer per se than the fry sound. We allow some vibration. That means that we have less tension to close the vocal folds. So we have that, the creaky voice, which is a vocal distortion, and we also have the breathy voice, which is this passive vocal scheme. Passive means that the vocal folds are not engaging with too much power, too much compression, but the vocal folds are quite relaxed. And we also have an action of the muscles that are responsible for opening the vocal folds, the posterior cricotinoid muscles. Those muscles, when they are strong and when they are active in our singing, they do not let we have too much closure. In fact, practicing exercises that work on these muscles will work against vocal strain. Whenever you feel like you have too much tension, you're straining too much, that might be because these muscles are not working well enough. They need to be stronger. But okay, coming back, we have the breathy voice and we also have the creaky voice. So she's going back and forth between the two of them.
Nothing falls, nothing fades.
This is a breathy voice.
Nothing withers away.
Away. Breathy voice.
I was thinking about space.
Space.
One between us.
Sweet breathy.
Maybe in another world, where I own that I'm jealous and I did some damage to us. Maybe we will never know, cause the truth is on silent, but our egos are talking loud. You hear where it hurts, cause I gave you the bullets. Maybe in another world.
This is really dramatic.
Swear there's a world you dealt with your things, I dealt with my things. Know there's a place when we're off beat.
Okay, here we start to have some active vocal schemes there. In this case in particular, da, na, 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 na. The vocal folds are active, they are in active tension, but we are not singing high yet. I say yet, I haven't heard the song yet, never, but I believe that she's going higher just because, like, I heard Golden. So whenever we are singing with active vocal folds below the E4, so this is the E4. If I'm singing here, this is the C sharp. So below the E4, and with active vocal folds, we say that that's a crooner voice. The crooner voice means that the relation between the CTs and the TAs, which are the primary muscles responsible for adjusting the pitch, how stretched the vocal folds will be, that these muscles are in a primary, we'd say, synergy, which means that TAs are preponderant over C. They are both working together, but TAs are the guys. They are commanding the whole thing. We are in a lower part of our range, and here the CTs don't need to be that strong to make the thing happen. They need to exist, of course, because whenever we are going high, regardless of how high it is, if we have a note, if I'm going higher, we need the CTs working for that. It doesn't mean that it has to be super high for the CTs to work. No, they need to like be pulling the vocal folds to be able to stretch them. However, when we are singing below the E4, they don't need to be doing anything like super special. So the behavior is quite similar to what we do when we're speaking. Some people speak with a softer tone, with passive vocal folds, that's okay, but it's still similar. And if we're talking about a person that tends to speak with active vocal folds, then it's pretty much the same behavior, just adjusting the levels of volume and of course dynamics with other techniques as well. That's the crooner voice. Crooner voice! And she's doing crooner voice and breathy voice.
We're finally in sync, where I feel okay and I feel no pain, and all my resentment got nothing to say.
So I feel okay, na 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 na, and a breathy voice there. Some vocal runs there.
Before everything changed.
And Creaky as well. This is so cool. She's such a fantastic singer, guys.
Before everything changed. Maybe in another world where I own that I'm jealous and I did some damage to us. Maybe we will never know, cause the truth is on silent, but our egos are talking loud. You hear where it hurts.
Here we are talking about a worn voice. We are singing with active vocal folds above that E4. We say worn voice. By the way, all of these vocal schemes or vocal technique names, they come from vocal anthropophysiology, which is the framework, my work as a voice teacher. And inside vocal anthropophysiology, we call this worn voice because it is a similar behavior as the behavior that we have whenever we want to warn someone about something. Imagine that you see someone crossing the street, you can see that a car is coming and might hit that person, and you just yell at them to let them know, oh, no! That's a similar behavior. It has to be high. If you want to call someone on the other side of the street to maybe let them know that they are in a potentially dangerous situation, you won't be doing that in a lower note. It should be higher and most likely with your vocal folds in active tension, because if you are in a noisy situation, you need to produce a sound that it's not necessarily super loud, but it needs to contain within it some characteristics that will cut through other sounds. It has to be a sharp sound. So I heard this. Oh, one voice! Yeah, active vocal folds.
I gave you the bullet.
And then something passive.
Maybe in another world.
This is passive, but it's not a breathy voice anymore. Whenever we are having this passive sound, it is projected. It's being pushed forward per se. She wants to be heard, but it's not breathy. Inside vocal anthropophysiology, we call that a Gregorian voice, just as a tribute to the Gregorian chant, because inside the Gregorian chant, this is one of the behaviors that we hear. That doesn't mean that inside the Gregorian chant, that's the only sound that they produce, but this is a behavior that can be found there. And to avoid names that have a lot of misconceptions surrounding them, such as falsetto or head voice, this kind of sound we describe inside vocal anthropophysiology as a Gregorian voice. Oh yeah.
Maybe in another world.
A high C sharp there. Maybe another world. That's super cool.
We're all that I'm jealous tonight is some damage.
No! I hear a bit of vocal distortion there. No! This is something that inside vocal anthropophysiology we call howl voice. Whenever we have this distortion that's usually high, it is high, and we have way more hiss, more an airy sound rather than more more crackling. Yay! No, it's not. Hey! Yay! No, it's way more. Just a bit of air with the note. That's a howl voice.
Maybe we will never know.
This is so cool. I wasn't expecting to hear vocal distortion. Maybe just the creaky. I was expecting to hear some creakies in her singing, but definitely not a howl voice. This is super cool. By the way, both the creaky, the howl voice, and more robust distortions like the phaser or the snarl, all of them are covered inside my singing course, Building Your Voice. The link in the description. We have a module there, all on vocal distortions. So if you want to develop vocal distortions in a safe way, I highly recommend that you check it out. Let's keep going. Yeah! We're having a lot of that. That's so cool. Let me hear that again. I feel that's still a Gregorian voice. It could also be what we call inside vocal anthropophysiology a crystal voice. And a crystal voice is a kind of passive vocal scheme where we are actively trying to make the sound small, contained, compressed, but again, it's still passive. So instead of singing, for instance, if I were to sing this note like this, I would do. This would be a crystal voice. It could totally be. It gets to a point where, especially when we are singing super high, and that's definitely the case, the main difference there between the crystal voice and the Gregorian voice would be the level of volume. Both of them, again, are passive, and I don't feel that she's maintaining the same level of volume here. I feel like she is reducing. Of course, we have compression in the sound, so it sounds a bit louder because of that, but I feel that the sound at the source level is being reduced at. So I would go with the crystal voice for that part. Loud! Warm voice, some runs there as well.
Maybe in another world.
Some vibrato there at the end as well.
I was thinking about space and not the one between us.
This was amazing. And the footage is also Fantastic. Alright guys, that concludes our vocal analysis on In Another World by EJAE. Let me know your thoughts. Leave them here in the comments. What do you think about the song? What do you think about her vocal techniques? Which of them do you like the most? Which of them do you already practice in your own singing? Which would you like to learn? Again, if you want to develop your own voice, check out my online singing course, Building Your Voice. There we cover all of the techniques that you heard here. If you want to learn them, develop, and practice in your own singing. We talk about active vocal schemes, passive vocal schemes, ornaments like runs, vibratos, iodos. We have a module on vocal distortions. We have a bonus module on music theory for singers. We have a vocal exercise library with exercises for you to practice for each of these techniques. And we even talk about how to create your own vocal exercises to serve the songs that you're learning and practicing. Okay, if you are curious about my own singing, check out my original music. Again, a month ago, I released the latest single of mine. It's called I'll Be There. I would really appreciate, really, that would mean a lot to me if you could go there, listen to the song, and let me know your thoughts on it. All right, all of the links are down below in the description and also in the pinned comment. Okay, you enjoy your day, you enjoy your coffee, and remember, if your concepts cannot be seen in the real world, they must change, and not the world.